wanted to start off by saying that nothing in this video is AI or anything like that. I just wrote a script and I sound super robotic because I've never really done this before. And I was just reading off of the doc, so sorry if it comes off unnatural, but I tried my best. And absolutely no AI, fuck AI. So for anyone unfamiliar, Ghost of Yotei is the sequel that's set 329 years after its predecessor, Ghost of Tsushima, in the year 1608, I believe. And yeah, it honestly, Ghost of Tsushima was and still is probably one of my top 5 favorite games I've ever played. I would just say that in my opinion, I liked Ghost of Yotei better. Okay, that's kind of not genuine to say. I guess I would put them at the same height because I did play Ghost of Tsushima when it came out in 2020, and maybe the emotions aren't 100% still with me. Maybe I have to do a replay. And I'm going to explain why I just really enjoyed this game and why I hope other people can enjoy it and just see the good parts about the game. In this game we play as our main character named Atsu, who had her family killed by a group called the Yotei 6, who had left her for dead by stabbing her with a katana into a tree. And little did they know, little Atsu would grow up to take her revenge. Just as Tsushima did, the storytelling is deeply rooted in morals and overcoming hardships through experience and learning, and to be patient, which is part of Japanese traditions, which derived from these time periods. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the game, when we try to learn a skill for a new weapon or just master a new weapon, and the sensei always has some sort of lesson that Atsu should learn, that would be good for her life. At the beginning of the story, Atsu is extremely impulsive and generally just doesn't give a fuck about what anyone has to say, as long as she can get closer to killing the Yotei 6. And I mean, can you really blame her? Like, she had to watch everything get taken away from her, and she literally has no family left. And her only will to live is to avenge her family. In many senses, I feel like Atsu is more fit of the name as the ghost, in a different way that Jin was. In her story we see she pushes people away due to her lust for blood, and she just finds herself getting lost in this rage for revenge instead of really focusing about what's more important. Without really spoiling too much of the story, she finds out that she's not completely alone, that there's a reason to keep living, and she has trouble choosing between revenge and, I guess you can say, love. And when the game came out, many people did not like Atsu's story or felt like it was a narrative that was being pushed. And while I can kind of agree that the story isn't quite on the same level as Tsushima was able to present, by no means was Atsu's story a bad story. And many times I felt that her story was more emotional, where I found myself crying sometimes in some of the cutscenes, where it made me truly feel what Atsu and the ones around her felt. On top of that, the music was just so fucking amazing. 100% pure cinema. Seriously, did you guys hear what a banger was playing in the intro? Just in case you guys missed it, just listen, okay? Just listen right now. Bro, did you guys hear that? Oh my god, I generally can't get over the soundtrack in this game. It's so good. Honestly, I have this on my playlist. I listen to this, when I'm on an adventure, from my room to my fridge. I'm just playing, but yeah, the song's really good, and I personally think the soundtrack's better than Ghost of Tsushima, even though Ghost of Tsushima was already kind of perfect, but this is I didn't know it could get better. The combat system in these games are generally some of the best action adventure games I've ever played. The attacks feel responsive, and overall just like very smooth gameplay. Like, I mean, when you try to parry, and when you attack, you know, like it's very addicting combat gameplay that is honestly just really fun. I would different like combat style than Sekiro, but I would say very fun in the same way to do parries. Just the enemies don't parry there's not as many opportunities to parry like there is in Sekiro. Kind of wish the enemies would throw more attacks that are parryable, or like that their stance was a little bit stronger so it's not so easy to kill them. But I guess that's what the harder difficulties are for. Honestly, yeah, it's just really and I think I really like how the skill tree works in this game. It's very simple and straightforward. Again, there's a lot of like different skills you can get that just make the combat feel even better. After you've like learned a new weapon, or you learn how to use a new weapon, you can go back to like the sensei like 2 more times after that to learn new skills for your weapon. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to level up in the skill tree. You need to do those quests. So I thought that was pretty sick, and it's just overall like a fun way to level up in my opinion. One cool detail that I noticed from Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei is that Atsu and Jin have very different fighting styles, which makes sense because Jin's like an actual samurai that trained to be a samurai, and we know that Atsu fought in the war against the Mongolians in the south on mainland Japan, but their fighting styles are very different. Jin has a very good form to his strikes in his like the way he uses his katana, whereas Atsu, she has good form, but it's a much more like there's anger behind her strikes. And I thought it was just kind of a cool detail that maybe not a lot of people saw. Another thing about the combat that I really enjoyed in this game that I guess Ghost of Tsushima already did well was just the versatility of ranged weapons. You know, you have your normal bow, you have your long bow, and you have like your, I guess you could call them consumables, you know? You have your like smoke grenade basically. In this game though, there was the introduction of guns, and I thought it was really cool. They feel really fun to use, to be honest. The musket has an insanely long reload, but it's really fun to use. And it really feels good like when you hit an enemy. But I think my favorite like part of Ghost of Yotei compared to Ghost of Tsushima is that the ability to throw weapons that are on the floor. I thought that was just super sick, and it feels amazing when you like strike down an enemy or two, and then there's a third one waiting behind you, and you just grab like the spear that's on the ground, and you just, you know, you fucking throw it into their chest and kill them. It just feels really cool and really fun. I think that's the biggest part. It like made a already fun combat system even more fun, and I mean like, well, you can't go wrong with more fun, right? So that was pretty cool. Also the little pistol, like the, I don't know what to call it, a hand cannon, that's really fun. And you know, like if you're in duels and then like you miss a parry or they're about to hit you with a undodgeable attack, it feels really good to just hit them with the pistol. Yeah, I mean, I think overall like they saw what worked in Ghost of Tsushima and they made it even better in Ghost of Yotei, and I think it was amazing. Last but not least, probably my favorite part about this game are the shrines and altar reflection that you many times have to go climb a mountain for, or just go through some sort of excursion just to get to this little altar that's hidden behind a nook and cranny, you know? The art direction in this game is just perfect. It's beautiful what can be done when a team cares about what they're making. And honestly, climbing these mountains in game, funny enough, just makes me reflect on my own life. It's very peaceful. I just think about, you know, what I appreciate. This game, funny enough, made me appreciate nature more. So did Tsushima, but I played that during quarantine. But it definitely did make me appreciate nature more. I actually found myself wanting to go on a hike, even though I hate going outside. I'm genuinely just like a bum that likes to stay on the inside of my house and play games all day, you know? But it really made me want to go on a hike and appreciate nature and what it has to offer. Get some peace of mind for once. I feel like living in the city, there's just too much going on, and sometimes I kind of yearn for something slower. And this game makes me want to live on the countryside of Japan or something. Except I hate bugs, but maybe I could deal with it if it means to live in a beautiful place, you know? Anyways, I think the way of leveling up your skill tree by requiring you to, you know, find the altar of reflection by either completing an outpost or, you know, hiking up a mountain, I think is genius. I think it's a fun way to force the player to explore the world, you know, and really just for the you know, the devs to show what they're capable of in world building. Like, some of these hikes are some of the most beautiful video game environments I've ever seen. I can really only think of a few games that rivals this. Probably like Elden Ring. I can't really tell you, you know. Ghost of Tsushima, obviously. But probably Elden Ring, the Dark Souls series are the only ones that I really know that make environments look this good. And I think it's an underappreciated form of art. Or maybe not underappreciated, but at least I haven't seen that many people talk about Ghost of Yotei's beautiful environment and the amazing sound design that this game had, the music. I feel like when it came out, it was kind of just went under the bus, and that was kind of sad to see because this game's really cool and I think a lot of people would enjoy it. I know I just keep yapping about how beautiful the game is, but like sometimes you will be riding your horse on a new quest line or the main story or whatever, and you just get hit with this, like the silhouette of the mountains in the background and this perfect picture-esque landscape that, you know, kind of like stays with you, and it's like, wow, how can something not real be so beautiful in a way? And in another way, it's like, dang, views like this really exist in real life, you know? Personally, this part of the game just really hits for me, and this just might be me yapping forever about how much I love the game and hiking in the game instead of hiking in real life. But yeah, overall, this game was amazing. Definitely my, you know, like maybe my top 3 favorite game. I think Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei are both pretty equal, but personally, Ghost of Yotei is my favorite, and I think it's a masterpiece. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. This was Stardust, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.